outlining tips from a fantasy author. I write dark fantasy. I'm currently working on the Adventures of Draco and Luna series. I'm currently writing book 2. Book 1 is out now on Amazon. I will leave the link somewhere. So, I have just 7 really simple, kind of basic outlining tips. But I see these questions on different writing groups I'm in on Facebook and different social media platforms, and even throughout kind of my own little writing group, because some people who either don't know how to outline or are new to outlining, sometimes they think they have to outline and they don't know how to go about it, and that's not really the case. So these are my 7 quick outlining tips. 1, don't worry about outlining the whole book in one go. Take as long as you need. You can take a day, you can take a week, you can take a month, you can take a year. It doesn't matter as long as you're going at a pace you're comfortable with. Number 2, write down every single idea that pops into your head about your book, whether you think it's going to work or not. Then you can decide, once you have your full list, what ideas actually work and what don't. I personally love doing this when I am outlining my plot, because some of the ideas that pop into my head, or some of the ideas that pop into my husband's head, are amazing ideas, and they really end up making the book, or they become a pivotal moment in the book. Where if we didn't let ourselves just kind of spitball ideas at each other, a lot of those ideas we wouldn't come up with. Number 3 is don't rush. Rushing can lead to stress, and stress can lead to burnout, and then you have days, weeks, months, however long, of where you don't want to even look at your project. And now if you're writing as a hobby, if you're just writing as a little, once in a while thing, that might not bother you. I write professionally. I am a self-published author, slowly working to becoming kind of having a full-time income from my writing. So for me, if I can avoid burnout for weeks on end, I will do whatever I can to avoid that. Tip number 4, don't be afraid to use name generators when planning and outlining your characters, your cities, your worlds, whatever. Also, for main characters, I personally stick to names that are easy to use and easy to remember. So, some of the main character names I use in some of my novels have been Draco and Luna. Obviously, that is the series I'm working on right now. Then I have Eric Sundown, who is my vampire king. I have used Scarlet and David and Michael and Jason, all really simple, easy to remember names that may not necessarily fit 100% into a kind of dark fantasy setting, but they're easy to remember and they're easy to say. I save the more fantasy style names for smaller characters that you're either not going to be reading about all the time, or that you won't necessarily have to remember the name of as often. And mostly I do that because I have a speech impediment, so a lot of the really, really cool fantasy sounding names are super hard for me to pronounce, and they kind of take the joy out of writing, or take the joy out of reading those books. Number 5 is break the outline down. I like to do plot, then setting, then characters. I also do weapons and magic. Again, I write fantasy. Number 6 is start big and work down to the smaller parts. So when me and my husband sat down to outline our country of Whitewater, we started with how we wanted the layout of the country city to be. And then we broke that down into the layers. Our city kind of builds up into like a tower style where you have 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, 4 level, 5, all the way up to 7 levels. So we broke down the layout, we decided how we wanted the levels to be, and then we basically picked, started with level 1 and what jobs are down there, who lives down there, level 2, same thing, all the way up. I find doing that just makes it a whole lot easier and keeps everything straight. Number 6, start big and work your way. Number 7, have fun. If you're not having fun, if the outline is killing the joy of the book you want to write, if it seems to just be dragging down your creativity, stop. Don't outline. Just sit your butt in the chair and write. You do not need an outline to begin to write.